who formed us.
Thank you. So we'll all sing together on the top of page 11. Lechun Ramana Ladonai Naria Litzu Yishenu Nekadama Fanav Betzoza Bizmirod Naria Lo שבדיוק בחיירת וטובנים לו שלא יאמרו עשו ויבש את ידיו יצאו או נשתחווה ונכרע נברכה לפני אדוני עושינו. We'll come together on page 12 at the little red arrow. Abehim Shana Akud Bedor Vaomaram Tuele Bavim Vehem Lo Yedu Derachai Ashenishbati Viapi Im Yavohu Nelmanuhu So sing to Adonai a new song, sing to Adonai all the earth. Sing to Adonai, praise God's name day after day. Tell of God's deliverance. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Masaru, Miyom, Yeshuato, Saveru Bagoyim, Kemodo, Becho, Uta Ruvakoim Kemodo Becho Ahami Uta Ki Gadol Adonai Ula Meio Norahu Akol All right. So let's see here. Sandy, would you read from Bow to Adonai? Oh, actually, Sandy, I'm going to hold off for you. And would you read Bow to Adonai on the top of page 14?
A bow to Adonai in the glory of this holy place. Tremble before God's presence, all who dwell on earth. Announce among the nations, Adonai reigns. The land is firm and will not be moved. Peoples will be truthfully judged. Shall I continue now?
Yes.
The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice. The sea in its fullness roar. The meadows and all that grows in them exult. Even the trees of the forest shall sing praise. Adonai comes to judge the earth, judging lands with righteousness and peoples with divine truth.
Thank you. Sandy, would you read the top of page 15? Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad. You're muted, Sandy. There you go.
You have to make it page 15.
Oh, you're right. I do. If I don't make it page 15, you can't do it. There you
No,
go.
absolutely not.
Good.
Okay.
Great.
Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad. The many distant lands rejoice. Clouds and thick darkness surround the divine. Righteousness and justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming besiegers round about. Flashes of lightning illumine the land. The earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the master of all the earth. The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory.
Thank you, Sandy. The reason I have Sandy read that one is because Sandy and I share an affection for Nantucket, where we both spent a number of summers in that when I actually did a few services on Nantucket. And this was their favorite song because another way of translating it is let the many distant islands rejoice. And Nantucket considers itself the distant island. So, all right, so we'll turn to page 16 and we will start at the little, in Hebrew at the little arrow. Oh, have Adonai Sidura. Shomer nafshot hasidah miyad rishayim yatzileh. Or zaru latzadik u'ishnei lev simcha simechu tzadikim baronai odu lezecher kodsho. Page 17. Mizmor shir l'Adonai shir hadash ki niflaot asam Hoshia lo yevino uzroa kodsho dia Adonai Yeshuato, Elei Elohim Gilad Tzidkato, Zachar Chesdo ve'emunato, Levet Yisrael, Alai, 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 Hello, la 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 Let's see here. Okay. Liz, would you be willing to read at the top of page 18 in English? Call out.
Call out to Adonai, all the earth. Break out in joyful singing. Sing to Adonai to the music of the lyre and voices making music together with horns and shofar cries. Trumpet the presence of the sovereign Adonai. Let the sea and all that is in it roar. Let the earth and all who inhabit it thunder. Let rivers clap hands while mountains sing in harmony. Greeting Adonai, who comes to judge the earth, judging the world with justice and the nations with truth.
Lovely. Thank you so much. So we're going to turn now to page 23 for the Chadodi. And the way we do the Chadodi is we sing the first two verses, then the middle verse on the following page, which is page 24, and then the final verse on page 25. All right. So we'll start on page 23. La 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 Shabbat, So I invite you to rise for our final verse, as you are able. Page 25, the last verse on page 25. Shalom, Materet Ba'ala, Gam B'Simcha U'Tzola, Tov Emuneh Am Sinula, Oy Milah Bo'Ivala, Le'Chadodi Li'Kakala, Yalala, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Le'Kabela, Le'Chadodi Li'Kakala. everyone can take a break. Whew. And we will turn to page 27 from the books. Oh my gosh, what happened there? Sometimes this machine is very persnickety. All right, page 27. I apologize. Faye, are you up for reading? So Faye might be a little bit tired. Gabriel, are you up for reading?
Sure.
Great. Yeah. The first lines here are page 27. The first page there. A psalm, the song of Shabbat.
Psalm, the song of the day of Shabbat. It
Yeah.
is good. It is good to thank you, Adonai, and sing to your name, Most High, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. Fingered the lute, plucked the harp, let the sound of the lyre rise up. You gladden me with your deeds, Adonai, and I shall sing of your handiwork. How wonderful are your works, Adonai, how subtle your designs. The arrogant do not understand, the fool does not comprehend this. The wicked flourish like grass, and every evildoer blossoms, only to be destroyed forever. But you, Adonai, are exalted for all time.
Thanks. So we'll turn to page 28, and we'll come together with a little arrow, and please join me behind your mute. Sadikatama Yifra Ke'eris Balvanon Yizgeh Shetulim Bevet Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenuvon B'Seva Deshenim V'Ra'ananim Yiyu L'Hayid Ki Yashar Adonai Tzuri Lelo Kabbalat Avo. So we'll turn to page 29. Adonai Malachei Lavish, Lavish, Adonai Oz Yitazah. Avtikon Tevel Baltimud Nachon Kisacha Meaz. Me'olamata, Nasuhu Naharot Adonai, Nasuhu Naharot Kolam, Yisuhu Naharot Tochiyam. Mikolohut Maim Rabim, Adirim Mishpiriyam Adir B'marom Adonai. Edotech Ne'emne Me'od, Levedcha Nahar HaKodesh, Adonai. The Oreh Yamim. All right, so we will turn now to page 39 for Mariv. We've successfully welcomed Shabbat into our souls, into our midst, and we will now begin with the Baruch Hu. I invite everyone to rise as they are able. Hi, Judy. And so, page 39a. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Everyone else said
Baruch Adonai Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Vorach Le'olam Va'ed. Judy, are you able to read tonight? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Connie, would you read the first bracha before the Shema, the coming of the evening light, on page 39a?
In Hebrew?
If you want, or English. English is great too.
39a.
39a.
Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn,
whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light.
Thank you. Umavir yom umeid mavdil laila. Umavdil b'in oops, I'm sorry, I messed it up. Umariv yom umeid laila. Umavdil b'in yom umeid laila. Adonai tzavaot shelo. El chai v'kayam. Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, HaMachriv HaRevi'im. Page 40. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, Amecha Ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shofteinu u'v'kumeinu, nasiach bechukecha. V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu li'orech yameinu, li'orech yameinu, u'behem negeh Yomam v'layla, Yomam v'layla. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu, u'behem negeh Yomam v'layla, v'yavetecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev ha'amo Yisrael. So we'll turn to page 41 for the Shema. Please feel free to join us. We always, in this minyan, we have a mix of people from all different backgrounds. So some of us say Baruch Shem out loud, others of us say it silently. So please follow your own custom. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'chol nafshecha u'chol me'otecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha b'beitzecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shoftecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totachot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'b'sharecha. Oh, I'm sorry, I completely forgot to put the things forward. Okay. There we go. Adonai Elohechem This is our enduring affirmation binding on us that Adonai is our God and there is none other. And we, Israel, are God's people. We'll turn to page 44. Moshe u'Miriam u'Bnei Israel lecha anu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha be'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh nohra tehilot osef Malchutecha ra'u vanecha Bokeyam lifnei Moshe ze'eli Anu li'amaru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed V'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo mi'ad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Gal Yisrael. And Neb, would you be willing to read the second bracha after the Shema on page 45 in English? Allow us Adonai.
What it was to start with?
Allow us Adonai.
Yeah. Now?
Yep.
Okay. Allow us Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Yashikor, beautiful. Thank you so much, Hanan. Ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha Baruch atah Adonai Aporei sukat shalom aleinu V'al kol amo Yisrael V'har Yerushalayim. The people Israel shall observe Shabbat, maintaining it as an everlasting covenant throughout all generations. It is a sign between me and the people Israel for all times that in 6 days Adonai made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day ceased from work and rested. And I invite you to rise as you are able for V'shamru. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. עמני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish, and just to let you know, in this congregation we sing the first 3 blessings of the Amidah together, and then we continue silently afterwards. So we'll continue with the Chatzi Kaddish.
Scroll down for us, Rabbi Jim.
Oh, scroll. Thank you. Okay. Yitkadash Shemei Rabba V'yalmad yivrach yirtzeh, v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chayedecho bet Yisrael, bagala, bagala, ובזמן קריב וימרו אמן. יש מרבה מברך, לעלמו מעמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח, ויפאר בדרומם ויתנשא ויתעתע, ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי לקדושה בריחו. ואלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בימה, וימרו אמן. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, אלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים, אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. אתה קידשת את יום השביעי לשמך. Say it around. If you're still finishing up your Amidah, please take your time. The rest of us will turn back to page 51 for Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amicha Sim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amicha Sim Leolam. Ki ata melech Adon Chol HaShalom. Ki ata melech Adon Chol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Sim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Sim Leolam. V'tov beinecha v'varech et amecha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה לשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Sim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Sim Leolam. Sim Leolam. Sim All right, so I invite people now. We will be turning to, if you have a book in front of you, it's page 173. If you don't, I'm going to put that page up on the screen in just a moment, but we will take a moment now to remember those who are in need of healing. So if there's someone whose name you'd like to mention and you're on Zoom, please unmute yourself. And in this room, yeah.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Great. So why don't we start with Sandy?
Okay. Ellen Zuniga, David Engel, Elaine Skolnick, Alvin Glazerman, Yair, and Rosemary Alroy.
Thank you, Sandy. Go ahead, Ann.
David Bluestein, Alex Metz, Michelle Sophie.
And Judy.
Natalie Goldman, Naomi Roselle, Coco, Faith Claggett.
Thank you. Arthur? Anybody? No. Connie?
Rachel Rabinovitz.
And then anyone you're remembering today? Yourself. Okay, Annette. Thank you. And I'm going to remember my cousin Tamar Bat Miriam and my father Jim Morgan, and two or three other people that I won't name. So we will come together now.
I have names, Rabbi.
Oh, you have names too. Good, Faye. Okay, go ahead, please.
Michael Levy, who's very sick,
Oh no.
and Judy Jacobs, and I forgot the other person, but everybody.
Okay, that's okay. They're in your heart, which is what matters.
Yeah.
Good, Faye. Thank you so much. And so I'll share this screen with you. It's up on, oops, there it is. Yep, it's up on the top left-hand corner. Mi shebe'ah avotenu mekol havrachim otenu May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishabera imotenu bekor averacha liavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
I just thought of two names for healing.
Okay,
Rosemary and Miriam.
Rosemary and Marion. Thank you, Annette. We'll add those.
From her shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, good. So now we will turn back to our other, let's see here. And we will turn now to page 56. Actually, we have a conservative minion with us tonight, so we will do our unusual for us. We will close out with the Kaddish Shalem, which is found on page 54. We'll rise as we are able. Yitgadal Yikadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Yamad Yivachirte V'yamlich Malchute. B'chai Chorek V'machor B'chai Echol B'it Yisrael B'galav Yizman Kavi B'Meru. Amen. Yehesh Shmei Rabbah L'Varach. V'yalamu Amei Almaya. Yivarach. Yivarach V'yishtabach V'yitbarach V'yitvrumah V'yitnaseh. V'yitadav V'yitalev V'yitala Shemei L'Kudsha. Barichu Le'el Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechat V'nechamata D'Amiram B'yalma B'Meru. Amen. Tikabot Zlotot V'Votot L'Chol Beit Yisrael Kodam Avon B'Shmai B'Meru. Amen. Yehi Shalom Rabba Min Shemai V'Chaim Aleni V'Kol Yisrael B'Meru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Mama V'Yaseh Shalom Aleni V'Kol Yisrael B'Meru. Amen. We turn to page 56 for the Eleno, and I ask you to continue standing if that is comfortable for you. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei gdula lioseh bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, אנחנו קוראים ומשתחלים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. You may be seated if it's comfortable. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמם ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אלוהינו, אמת מלכנו ופסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום וישיבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת עינו. Page 57. על כן נכבדך אדוני אלוהינו לראות נהירת תפארת עוזך ולהעביר גלילים מן הארץ. והאלים קבר תקרא תום ותקנו. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם בהם, ונאמר, והיה אדוני ביום ההוא, יחיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. So the Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 58. And as with the Misha Berach, I invite you to unmute yourselves if there's someone that you are remembering for a yard site, or if you are in mourning. This week, the Worship and Study Minyan, which is in Cambridge at Harvard Hillel, is remembering Ruth Anna Putnam, someone who was her second yard site this year. She was a great philosopher, married to another great philosopher, and she taught at Wellesley, and her husband taught at Harvard, that little school. And Ruth Anna was a powerful person who was a stalwart of the Minyan and was for many years the Gabbai, which is the equivalent of the president of the congregation, and made it very much what it was. So she is sorely missed. Is anyone else remembering somebody?
Yes.
Yes,
Anne, please.
John DeVerts.
Okay. Great. So we will. Oh, Judy, are you remembering somebody too?
My grandmother, Annie Pearl.
Annie Pearl. Okay. Thank you, Judy. So we'll please rise as you are able, or as is your custom, on page 58. Yikadal, Yikadash,
Yalmad Yifrach,
Yalmad, Yirteh, Yamlich, Malchuteh, V'chayechot, V'chayechot, V'chayeh, Dechol Beit Yisrael, Hagalah, V'lizmanda, Rami, Yehei, Shei, Ram, Ram, Yiparach, Yiparach, Ram, Vitadar, Vitadar, Le'eva, Yikol, Birchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata,
Damiran,
Dami, Amen.
Amen.
Lama Rabbi Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu, Yisrael, Amen.
Amen.
Oseh Shalom, Uya Aseh Shalom,
Amen.
Amen. All right, so thank you so much to our friends at Tufts Hillel. This was so wonderful to spend time with you. And let's see here, I'm going to try to pull up our final song here. But I hope that you all were able to enjoy yourself despite the Zoom. It definitely takes a little bit of practice to get used to davening on Zoom, and so I really appreciate you making the effort to be with us tonight. Very, very fun to have new faces who are able to be with us and willing to be, in your room while you're in our room at the same time. So thank you so much for being with us. And anyone have anything they'd like to share before we move to our final song? Any words of wisdom? Okay, great. Well, after we sing,
maybe
go ahead,
just
Arlen.
actually, if we can return the thank you for having us. The conservative Minyan has definitely taken a hit with not being able to sing on campus.
Yes.
So being able to hear someone's voice is just really wonderful, and it's great to spend Shabbat with all of you. So thank you.
It's wonderful, and you're always welcome to join us. We have services now. Zoom. COVID has been weird, but we now have services every Friday night at 6, and we have services every Saturday morning at 10. where we do a pretty traditional conservative Shachrit, and then we read the Torah. And on alternate Saturday, well, it's not exactly alternate, but 2 Shabbats a month, we actually have a Torah service where we read from the scroll. So if there's anyone who would like to read from the Torah and would like to volunteer to do that, we can work that out for you guys to come, for probably one person at a time. Unfortunately, I can't bring a whole group in, but if there's one person that'd like to do it, I'd be happy to try to figure out the setup. Mariana would be able to help us with that. So, so definitely, if you're jonesing for the Torah, and I knew that I had missed the Torah scroll, but I didn't know how much until last week when we pulled it out, and our intern Rachel was carrying it around, and we were all kissing it, and oh my gosh, it was just like this thing, like, oh my gosh, we haven't touched a Torah for a year, and I hadn't read from the scroll for a year, and it's really just such a powerful thing to be able to do that. So if anyone is interested, please let me and Mariana know. Very happy to do what we can to make that work. And then we have usually a pretty good Torah discussion, and then we try to get done by about noon. So please feel free to join us. All right, so our last song, and then after the song, we can all unmute ourselves and say good Shabbos and all that kind of thing. The last song is a song that used to be the opening song for our Shabbat services, but has become instead has become a closing song, which is 8 Dodim. Can everyone see it?
Mm.
Great. Okay. 8 Dodim Kabbalat, oh, we're Gani. 8 Dodim Kabbalat, oh, we're Gani. It's a dance. It's a dance. You're supposed to dance on Shabbos. You're supposed to dance. You're supposed to celebrate with the Shabbos bride. So we're always dancing on Shabbos. Thank you all so much. Everyone can feel free to unmute themselves and greet one another for Shabbos, and looking forward to seeing you again sometime soon, I hope. And as I said, you're always welcome. And thank you again for helping us. I don't know that we would have had a minyan without all you guys. So really appreciate you being here.
Shabbat shalom.
Good Shabbos, everybody.
Good Shabbos.
So, Rabbi, how many people are there from 100 or 112?
Let's see, no one from 112 and 2, 3, 4 from.
4, so we have 3.
Yeah. Not bad.
I would have expected more.